All right. Well, thank you guys for hopping on our TLC leadership call. We are having a special guest today. Doug Moss from Beachbody Corporate Sales is here to share with us a little bit about the 2019 Elite program and lay it all out for us so we can all hit Elite this year, or well, next year. How does that go, Doug? But
Yeah,
he's going to kind of give us the breakdown, what's changed from last year to this year, and then just kind of break it down with us, like what you need to be doing monthly to get to that goal. So I will throw it over to you, Doug, and let you kind of explain the whole program.
awesome, awesome. I'm assuming most coaches in here are like, have you seen the program before? Did you know last year's program? Pretty knowledgeable about what it was. All right, if you haven't, that's okay too, because we'll kind of walk through it. But I want to make sure that as we explain it, you guys kind of get what we've changed and how we've really simplified it and made it easier, I believe, for you to get to Elite. Now, Elite has always been, this program where it's the best coaches in the network during that given year, meaning it's the coaches that have done the fundamentals, the basic activities of recruiting, hitting Success Club themselves, recruiting coaches, and getting their coaches to be productive. So it's really a program based on those three things: hitting Success Club, signing coaches, and getting your coaches to be productive, quote unquote, hitting Success Club. This year, it's no different. And what I want to make sure that we're very clear on for you guys is the way you become elite, there's three things that have to happen for you to be elite. Number one is you have to be a 5-star diamond. Number two is you have to build 2 diamonds during the course of 2018. And number three is this year you have to get 105 elite points. Now, I want you to understand that when we rolled this out to the CAB early December, literally the CAB's response was, nope, it's too easy. You got to make it harder. Literally, they said, guys, if we do this program, we'll end up with 500 elite coaches. And quite honestly, the company said, you know what, let's create the problem. Let's see. I mean, let's do it. Here's the deal. In the past, I would tell you that the points and the 5-star rank were more aligned. What I meant by that is if you went and got the 135, points that were needed to be elite in previous years, it was enough activity, generally speaking, to get you close to 5-star, okay? This year, 105 points is a level of activity that I think you're all going to get the 105 points. I think I can tell you how to get there. I'm going to explain how you get that done. We're going to be able to get you the 105 points. The question this year is going to be whether or not we can get you to 5-star, because you've got to be able to build diamonds. You've got to be able to build leadership. And if we can get you to do those two things, you can be elite. Now, let me walk you through a couple of things with these first 3 requirements. The first thing is that the diamonds and the rank of 5-star in previous years, you had to be a 5-star diamond, and your diamonds had to be active in the month of December. So, last month, December 2017, everybody who hit elite had to be paid 5-star 1 Thursday at least in the month, and their 2 diamonds had to be paid diamond 1 Thursday in the month of December. Now, we've changed that you can do it that way in 2018, meaning if you get one-time paid 5-star on a Thursday in December and your diamonds are paid, the 2 of them are paid diamond during December, congratulations, yep, that will meet the requirement. The other way you can do it this year is if you hold paid 5-star for 6 consecutive weeks at any time during the year, then we're going to check a box next to your name and the rank requirement will be done, okay? What does that mean? Well, it means if you're Raina Odell and you're sitting there with a rank higher than 5-star, 6 weeks into the year, she'll be able to check that box and not worry about it. And then that way, heaven forbid, by December, if something happened that, things fell apart, that box would already be checked. But let's talk diamonds, because everybody has to build 2 new diamonds in order to be elite. Now, those 2 diamonds, the same rules apply. If you build a new diamond in January and they hold for 6 consecutive weeks, we're going to check a box next to your name and say, hey, one of their diamonds is done because they've held 6 weeks. and you have another one that holds in July, you hit a diamond in July, they hold 6 weeks, we'll check the box. That will take away your requirement to have those paid diamonds be in December, okay? So, but now let's just say that you didn't get your diamonds during the course of the year. They don't have to hold 6 weeks if they have a paid Thursday in December, okay? So as long as they have as long as you are a paid 5-star and your 2 diamonds are paid in December on any Thursday, then that requirement is complete. Okay, so that's 2/3 of the requirements to be elite. And let's also be clear about this. If you're on this, so there's 2 things I said. You got to be a 5-star and you got to build 2 diamonds. If you're on this call at anything less than a 3-star, then you really have to do one thing. You have to get to 5-star. I mean, the diamonds and the rank, it's all the same requirement. You got to get to 5-star. So for you guys that are less than a 3-star, we got to get you to 5-star. You guys that are higher than a 3-star, you got to build 2 diamonds and you got to be a paid 5-star. So, okay, the 105 points. Here's the deal. There's 3 categories in ways that you're going to earn points for elite this year, okay? And they're very similar to previous years, and so I'm going to walk you through them really quickly. The first category is Success Club. Where you get points from Success Club is the same as in previous years. It is coaches that you personally sponsored last year, 2017, and coaches you personally sponsor this year, 2018. When those personally sponsored coaches hit Success Club, you get an elite point, okay? When you hit Success Club, we double it. Meaning, so if you had 2 coaches hit Success Club that you sponsored last year, they hit it in January, you would have 2 elite points. You hit Success Club, we'll double it. We'll give you 4 elite points for the month of January. And just to be clear, if those same 2 coaches hit Success Club the entire year of 2018, then you would get, and you hit Success Club, you would get 4 elite points every month for those same 2 coaches. You wouldn't need any more. You could literally get the points required in the Success Club category by the same 2 coaches hitting Success Club the entire year. Now, the goal in that category, or the maximum points you can earn in that category, is 50. So if you did do 4 points a month, 4 times 12 would be 48. I mean, you'd pretty much be there. So your goal is to get 50 points in that category, okay? Second category, and I really want this one not to be confusing. It's very simple. Before last year, we had a category called PSPV, Personally Sponsored Personal Volume. That is a personally sponsored coach and the volume that they create by purchasing and by selling to customers. Okay, that's where PV comes from. So I signed Leslie as a coach. She purchases a challenge pack for me. That creates PV. She buys her HD order. Every time she purchases, that creates PV. Oh, guess what? Leslie sold the challenge pack to her mom as a customer. Her mom now, that generated PV for Leslie. That now counts towards my elite PV as well. Okay, so that's the PSPV category. And then last year we introduced CPV, Customer Personal Volume. You go sell a challenge pack to a customer who joins the challenge group. That's customer personal volume. That volume as well counts. So the answer to this category is, as you sell challenge packs to either coaches or customers, anytime that personal volume is created, it comes into a pool. Every time that pool adds to 500, you get an elite point, okay? So here's the deal. We're changing the name of the category to APV, Acquisition Personal Volume. All it means is you sell a customer, you sell a coach, doesn't matter. It all goes into Acquisition Personal Volume. Every time that entire kitty, every time it hits 500, there's an elite point. So that's what's going to happen. Now, this is a category that as you go after it, you're going to learn that, hey, the first month in January, it's tough to get points in this category because I got to go get 500 PV amongst all the people I'm selling to. And I don't, and just so you know, it's only coaches and or customers that you sell to in 2018. So coaches and customers from last year do not count for this category. They count towards SC, but they do not count towards APV. So this category is all about you recruiting, and the sooner in the year you recruit, the longer that customer or coach will count for you during the course of the 12 months. okay? Meaning, if you signed me as a customer today and I bought a challenge pack and I stay on HD every month of this year, then every month you're going to get PV for my challenge pack. Every month you're going to get PV that I'm generating. So then next month you sign somebody else. Well, they add on addition to me. So every month it's going to get bigger and bigger. So in this category, it really is a category where you start out with, hey, I need to get 1 point. As soon as I get 1 point, I want 1 point in January. Can I get 500 PV in January? So I need to recruit coaches and I need to recruit customers. Here's the deal, though. I just want to be clear on this. Customers only buy. If I'm a customer, all I do is purchase. If you sign me as a coach, now as a coach, I buy and I can sell. So coaches produce more PV than customers do. Just always remember that, hey, a coach can buy and sell, a customer can only buy. Okay? This category, your goal is to get 50 points as well. So SC, you're trying to get 50 points. APV, we're trying to get 50 points. So as you look at that, that's 100 points, and I told you got to get 105. Well, there's a third category. The good news is that we used to have a category called ATV. Well, ATV is no longer a category in Elite. We've removed it. Now, for those coaches that pay attention to that, I want to let you know we're still fighting, but I'm going to try and keep it on your Elite report because I think it's a good number for you to at least be aware of so that you can kind of see what's happening with your entire organization so that there's just some understanding of the trending of your organization. So the third category is a little bit, it's more complicated to explain than it is for you guys to earn points. What we call it is PS 1 plus SC. Now you're like going, what the hell? I got it. PS is personally sponsored coaches. 1 plus SC means if you sign a personally sponsored coach, if they produce 1 or more Success Club point within their first full month, okay? What that means is if you sign me on January 1st, I have until the end of February to produce a Success Club point. If I get 1 Success Club point, you get an Elite point, okay? So, but let's just be clear. You sign me January 1st, I have through the end of February. If you sign me January 31st, I still only have till the end of February. So it's the month you enroll and the next month, okay? So what this category does is it's just helping bring into the conversation the idea that, hey, how can I help my coaches become productive quicker? Okay, rather than signing up a coach and sticking them in a challenge group and, hey, I'll come back to them, they're going to learn some stuff and then we'll be back. This allows you and really gives you that incentive to say, hey, if they're interested in building and they sell their spouse a challenge pack, hey, that gets them 2 Success Club points, that gets you an Elite point. They talk to their mom, their sister, whatever. They sell anything that gets a Success Club point within the first full month, you get an Elite point. Now, the other 2 categories I just told you add up to 100 points already. I only got to get to 105. So over the course of this year, we're only requiring you to do this 5 times, okay? Good news is, let's say you did it 25 times. Well, the maximum in this category is 25. So you could go get 25 points in this category, which would then lower the number of points you need in the other 2 categories. Because like I told you, you only need 105. So in the past, we always trained Elite as you cap the SC category, you cap the PV category, and then the ATV category, we're going to do a minimum. This year, I think you're going to cap all of them, so I'm not really worried about it. But it depends on what you do. The bottom line is, as you pay attention and see this, Elite is a recruiting function. It teaches you as a coach, you need to recruit other coaches, which then you've got to recruit coaches and be able to help them become productive. Guys, understand this, and we'll do questions here in just a second. Understand this, that when you become a coach, the first most important thing you have to figure out how to do is, and I'm talking about, yes, help people, yes, yes, yes. But when you first start, you've got to figure out how to hit Success Club, and you got to figure out how to get confident in hitting Success Club. And when I meet with coaches that are interested in being Elite, normally getting to Success Club, it's not easy, but certainly most coaches are confident in their ability to hit Success Club every month, okay? The next thing that they have to do, though, is they got to get good at signing coaches. And I can tell you that you're going to get good at personally hitting Success Club before you get good at signing coaches. And over the course of time, as you get good at hitting Success Club, you will then get good at signing coaches. And then the next step is helping your coaches become productive. And it really is a tier kind of process where you're gaining confidence in yourself and in your abilities as a Beachbody coach. And over the course of time, you're going to get good at hitting Success Club. You're going to get good at recruiting coaches. And then you're going to get good at helping your coaches be productive. And if you can do those three things, that is the elite program. I mean, in a nutshell, recruiting and helping your coaches get started, bam, there's your 105 points. Now we go back to the beginning and we need to be building, how are we going to get to 5-star? And I would tell you, if you really understand 5-star and you're sitting here in January going, okay, Doug, I got to get to 5-star. How do I get to 5-star? Well, the first thing is, how do I get to 2-star? Like, let's not get to 5-star before we've gotten to 2-star. Because if I can get you to 2-star, all of a sudden I've got 2 diamonds. Maybe one's my spouse, maybe it isn't. But if I've got 2 coaches that are not my spouse, when I go 2-star, I now get my second business center. Now I place my second business center somewhere in my organization, and now my second business center can become a diamond, and now I'm a 3-star. If I didn't build my spouse, I can help my spouse get to diamond. Bam, I'm a 4-star, and then I need one other coach to go diamond in order for me to be a 5-star. So I just want you to understand that it's easier to look at 5-star in January with a 12-month goal, because I can say, okay, realistically, I need 3 diamonds that aren't me. Now, how do I get 3 diamonds that aren't me? That, but in order for you to leverage that, you have to be able to be recruiting. A lot of coaches, when I do one-on-ones, will figure out that, hey, you are a coach that for every 10 coaches you sign, you get 1 that's productive. Some coaches are 1 in 6. For every 6 they bring, they have 1 that's productive. And I will tell you, I've met some that are 1 in 30, meaning they sign 30 coaches and 1's productive. And I'll be honest, if you're 1 in 30, there's a problem in something you're saying, a way you're presenting, because literally across the company, the average is probably 1 in 10. Now, why is that important? The reason that it's important to kind of understand that ratio, if I'm a 1 in 10 coach, meaning that every time I sign 10 coaches, one of them is a legit diamond contender, if I have that and I understand that in my business, well, now I can look at it and say, oh man, I need to build 3 diamonds. So if I got to build 3 diamonds, my question is, how quickly do I sign 30 coaches? Okay. But let's just say I just need 1 diamond. Well, if I need 10 coaches to find 1 diamond and I'm signing 1 coach a month, that means I'm going to find 1 diamond every 10 months. And guys, that doesn't work. Like getting to elite, that program doesn't add up. You've got to be able to understand that, hey, if I'm going to build this, I've got to be able to build leadership. So therefore, I've got to figure out how to sign coaches quicker. But if I am 1 in 10, if I signed 5 coaches a month, now I'm going to build a diamond or so every other month. Now I've got enough activity and enough builders and coaches joining my team to be able to get more activity, more leadership being developed quicker. So anyway, just understand this is a self-evaluation process where you got to say, Doug, I'm signing 2 coaches a month. Well, 2 coaches a month, and if you're 1 in 10, that's every 5 months you're going to find a builder. And if you need to build 3 diamonds, your runway is not long enough this year. You've got to figure out how to speed that up and recruit more. So with that, guys, that is the elite program this year. It's all about recruiting and helping others and then helping your coaches become productive. Are there questions about any of it? I mean, I can, anything in there. Raina.
Hi. So you didn't say it, so I'm guessing this takes it out. But the whole, you have a diamond pop or star diamond pop to 25 points, that's gone.
No, it's not gone. So let's just be clear. I'm training on elite. When we start talking about ranking of elite coaches, and Raina Odell going for top 10 and Anita Myron going for top 10, that's a whole other conversation, because first thing you guys have to do on this call is you got to get to elite. Then we'll start talking about, hey, you want to be ranked as an elite coach? Then it requires you to build personally sponsored teams that are rank advancing. So that rule, Raina, did not change. It still is what it is. And yeah, no, it's just a different conversation than to the masses.
Okay. Thank you.
For sure. Other questions, guys? Uh-oh. Yeah, we didn't change it. So every time you have a personally sponsored coach that advances to 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, or 5-star, you get 25 what we're calling leadership development points. Now, I don't want to confuse you on this because they don't count towards your 105. You've got to get your 105 elite points in order to be elite. What we do, though, is when your personally sponsored coaches advance, what we have is we rank the elite coaches. We combine your leadership development points with your elite points, and whoever has the highest number there, that's how we rank the elite coaches. Because elite, yes, it's about, personally recruiting and personally helping your coaches be productive. But when you start to rank elite coaches and the top 10, now it really gets into leadership development is a very important aspect of building a solid business. And guys, I hope you understand this. We used to, and I think that this change with the 25 points is important because it used to be that, man, you could run to elite with 5 shell diamonds and, get the elite points. And as a coach, you're not making a very high income because there's no real volume in your organization. You guys need to understand that if you want to build your income, it does take some patience. I'll be very clear. But you've got to build leadership in your organization so that there's other people building volume, okay? Volume takes time, but volume comes from personally sponsored star diamonds, and then really any star diamonds in your organization that are built underneath you are building volume that you're not having to build. So that's where volume comes from. That's how your paycheck increases. So when we start talking about leadership development points, that's why those are important, is because that's where income is created, because that's where volume is created, and that's how your checks and things will increase. So just to be clear on that. And yes, first-time team leaders also give you 25 leadership development points as well. Other questions, guys? What about elite isn't clear? Or even better, what activities do you think you need to do in order to be elite? Like what level of activity do you guys think it's going to take? I'm curious. Do I just call on people at random? Let's call on Leo. Leo Brown. Is that your name or is that?
Name, Leo. That's my husband.
Okay.
I'm Mona. Hi. Yeah, I'm going to need to up my game big time. It's been no excuses. It's just been a year. So I have got to start recruiting again. So that's putting it out there.
Well, and I'll tell you this, here's the deal with this. The elite points are at 105. And so what I want you to understand this year that's different from other years, I would tell you that you had a runway of 12 months to get to 135 points. And for those of you that don't know, I mean, the difference between 135 and 105 is 30, and those 30 would kill people. I mean, those are tough points to get. I want you to understand that if you're on this call and your business needs to change or your activity needs to increase, it's okay. The runway is there for you to get started. Like I talked about this Success Club point category and you needing 50 points. It used to be, 61. I mean, we had much higher requirements in that category. And so what I want you to understand is if I need to average 2 personally sponsored coaches from last year or this year to hit Success Club, and from last year I have nobody, I got nothing. Well, then right now my recruiting this year needs to be up so that, hey, I need to start, let's say it takes me till, March to get 1 or 2 coaches hitting Success Club. I'm just telling you, that's okay. Because all it means is if I get 1 in March, March and April, I have 1. May, June, July, August, I'm at 2. The end of the year, I get to 3. I can still cover those first months. And I'm trying to, and I'm only ending up with 3 personally sponsored coaches hitting Success Club. Now, I'm not trying to make that sound like that's a layup, but I do want you to understand it's certainly doable. Okay? And, guys, you're on this team with this group. I mean, look who's on this call with Raina, Leslie, and Anita. Holy hell. I'm serious about this. If you need help, it's like you've got it. And that there is no reason you guys should be struggling with any, I mean, I get struggling with aspects of the business, but if you'll just do what you're told, I mean, honestly, like I will tell you that one of the biggest problems in this business is people overthink it, and they try to train their way into elite, and they try to learn everything to get there. I would tell you, if you would just listen to what Anita tells you and what Leslie tells you and what Raina tells you. I mean, Raina is funny to me because Raina is one of those coaches that when I used to talk, she's like, oh, I'm in the top 10, but whatever. And I would do an interview with Raina and say, Raina, what are your strategies? And she would giggle and like, yeah, there's no strategy. And it's like, oh, there's got to be something. Nope, you would interview her. There's no strategy. But the good news is the takeaway from Raina was Raina, like I did an interview with her, a best of the best in the West. And Raina's point that came out of that call was, I just learn from everything I do. I do a post, I pay attention. I do a post, I pay attention. What happened? Oh, that was a good one. Oh, I should do more of that. Let's save that one and we'll come back to it. Oh, I do a post. Oh, that sucked. Okay, get rid of that. That's not a good idea. Like she's literally paying attention to everything she's doing, which is how she's been able to accomplish what she accomplished. So you guys just need to say, Raina, how do I post? What are my posting strategies? Who do I talk to? How do I attract more people? Like, what does that look like? And let these three tell you how to do it, and then just do what they tell. Like the cool thing is you do not have to go start from scratch and go do trial and error to figure this thing out when you've got the team, an upline that you guys have got on this team. So questions about elite. What else, guys? What else are you struggling? Not like what? So okay, not even elite. What are you struggling with? Like what's hard about the business right now? Kelly, you're in the middle of my screen.
I don't really know what's hard because I'm like really good and really consistent at doing things.
Yeah.
Every day. I guess it's just hard to get people to be as motivated as me, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I have awesome coaches on my team and they do awesome things, but I just don't know how to get people to be more consistent, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
And I guess my advice to that is you just keep doing what you're doing on the recruiting front and your runners will run with you. And, because it's too hard to give people their goals. Like you just can't. And so what you have to do is continue to do your thing and talk about how you're excited and talk about how your life is changing and talk about how, dude, my check is now $100 a week or whatever it is. Like every one of those things is an inspiration to somebody else. And it isn't like your check or whatever needs to be $1,000 a week to be cool. Like, guys, when your checks are making car payments, I would talk about it. And, and you're celebrating all the way through this and the way that you're helping people, just always be adding and talking about it so that the energy and the enthusiasm is all part of your team. And anyway, I just think that just you keep moving forward and doing your thing and just wait and see what happens with the people around you. Other questions, guys? I just think elite this year is so easy that everyone's like, got it. Right, Leslie? Anita, what's up?
It's a matter of, I look at the faces on this call and I know everybody on here can do it. I think it's just a matter of doing it. Like actually getting up every single day and being like, I'm going to do the vital behaviors. I think where I see, when I look at a coach that has the potential to go elite and they're doing most of the things right, there's always one thing missing and it affects everything else. So I think, like you said earlier, getting back to the basics, peeling back the onion, getting away from overtraining yourself into elite, but rather just like what Raina did, do and learn as you go. Fall on your face, be okay with failing, fail over and over again until you figure it out. And I think the difference between Raina, Leslie, and I and everyone else is that we just failed a lot more, a lot faster. I'm almost 100% positive that Raina probably went for 100 no's before she got one yes. And I think we've done that over and over again. And I think that's the difference, is just stepping out there and putting yourself out there. And I understand like life gets in the way, life happens, and it could set you back and make you not do the vitals. But that's the difference. You look at somebody who's elite over and over and over again because they never let their foot off of the basic stuff. even when shit hits the fan, they're still working out, drinking Shakeology, sharing that, inviting, adding to your network, telling your coaches how to do that. That simple. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and I'll say this. I mean, I was on the call with Micah Folsom when she and I were kind of going back and forth about her team and what's going on. And she told me, she goes, yeah, we're starting this new hashtag. And I said, what is it? And she says, well, what we figured out, Doug, is most of the coaches on my team that are struggling, they say they're working, but they're just not doing the basic business of the activities that happen before the invite. Like they're just not doing all this social media and the posting and conversations and building genuine relationships, and all that stuff is kind of stopped. And so when they're trying to invite, there's nobody to talk to because they haven't got all that lined up. And she said the hashtag is, and you guys have all heard it, it's hashtag do your crap. It's literally what she called it. Do your crap is her hashtag. And, you know, and I said, well, wait, you got to define crap. And she said, well, crap is, it's the mundane, it's the fundamentals, it's the basics, it's all that stuff that happens before the invitation. And she says, that's my business model. Like everybody on my team, it's like if they're not being successful, it's because they're not doing their crap. And what's interesting, guys, I don't care if you're building this business an hour a day or 10 hours a day. You need to align your activities around the activities that get you to your goal. Now, let's be clear with that. If you've got 1 hour a day, that means literally you're spending 50 minutes in the activities of recruiting and 10 minutes talking and solving problems for your team, and training. Like literally, you need to be in balance in the recruiting activities because that's what's going to get you to where you're going. I think way too many coaches say, yeah, no, I work Beachbody 3 hours a day. And I'm like, awesome. So what do you do in 3 hours? Well, I watch Scotty Hobbs videos and Raina makes some great videos. And have you seen Anita's new post? And it's like, guys, those are not work hours. You're doing something else. Like literally, you know, and it's a valid point. You know, when's the last time you actually did a power hour and just did it like legit and do it and consistently do it and stay in that mode, because there's just too much to distract you that we can call work at Beachbody. Yeah, you know, you can go in the back, you know, Beachbody's we were an infomercial company first. You go back into the back office, you could be lost in there for years watching videos and posts and I mean, just the stuff. And it's not. You guys just have got to get out front and do the stuff that gets you to your goal, which is what are the activities that you do to recruit, honestly. And I'm not talking only coaches. Customers count. Customers matter. Sell challenge packs. Get people into challenge groups. Add value on social media. I mean, honestly, that is the coolest thing about this business is that there are no secrets. I mean, I do calls all the time with these guys. I mean, I have a call that I have Raina, Leslie, and Anita on every Friday morning at 9 Mountain Time. And we do a couple of calls that are called hot seat calls where I pick one coach and then I turn everybody else loose on them to just say, what are you doing? How does this work? What's happening? Da, da, da. And it's a really cool call because nobody says, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to say. There's none of that. I mean, they're even asking how much you paying for ads. What are you doing? Like, dude, they'll tell you. And what's funny is the conception is that the perception, is that people are spending, thousands of dollars on ads for Facebook. I will tell you guys, ads haven't worked for a long time. I mean, there's people, okay, Anita's had some success. I'll give it to you. But I don't think people are dropping the kind of money you think they are in order to get it. I think there's a lot more. I mean, I'll be, the coaches I meet with, a lot of them are having a ton of success by doing live videos and staying active. Yes, there are some ads being bought, but I would tell you that Instagram and the things they're doing there are having more, kind of motivating and success that's being brought people back into them. But again, these are the three coaches that are leading this group that you guys should be able to look to them to, dude, do what they tell you, and that's what would work.
I want to hop in and say also, when I look back, I do a lot of self-reflection every year. I look back and I say, okay, it's so simple. It's the vital behaviors. And I have like a list of all of the things that we need to be doing. And I'll check off, was I doing that? And 9 times out of 10, there's 1 or 2 things I'm missing. And nobody's ever perfect. So when you're missing something super crucial like personal development, you think, oh, I'm reading personal development. I'm checking in on the Bible. I'm watching Joel Osteen on YouTube. That's not personal or professional development. That's just personal, get lifted up, feel good, hoorah. But you need professional personal development. I mean, I went like 6 months without that, and it shows in my numbers. Like 2 days ago, I was like, all right, I need to get my poop in a group and start listening to professional development. It's that specific. Okay, I put on Grant Cardone, Be Obsessed or whatever. And I'm like freaking going nuts in my business all of a sudden. I'm like, wait a second. This focus, this energy, this fire, I could have had this months ago had I just done my professional development. Same thing with eating right. I'll go weeks where I'll just eat like crap and feel like crap. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second. Let me go down my list. Be proof the product works. Oh shit, I'm not doing that either. And I fixed that, and I'm up to selling more challenge packs again. So like, yeah, I'm at SC40, but I just started listening to 10X Rule and Be Obsessed and eating right and working out again. Like I'm doing the vital behaviors, whereas opposed to like 3 or 4 months ago, I was binge eating and watching Netflix. I'm not going to lie. So, I mean, that's the truth. And it applies to me too. It applies to everybody. I know what coaches aren't doing because I don't do them sometimes. And that's where I get knocked down.
For sure. Any other questions about Elite? I think you're good. I just don't think it's that complicated.
No, I think this year is a lot more like, okay, we got it. Let's go. Here are benchmarks. So.
Well, and even with the bundle strategy around 80-day obsession, guys, there's more PV to be generated. So even the APV category is easier because you're going to get more PV than you used to get. So just understand that it's actually even better. And I will tell you this, bars are coming in April. We've got other programs that are being developed. We're leveraging the heck out of, you got this autumn test group that's starting on the 15th. And, there's all that stuff. Well, the company, just so you know, is learning. Like literally, we're stoked because the next launch, we kind of did the Shift Shop launch, and it was, let's face it, we kind of buried it in 80-day obsession test group stuff. And it was a great program, but then we just kind of got beyond it too quickly. This year, we think we've kind of found a sweet spot with 80-day obsession. We're having an incredible launch. Just wait to see how we launch the next ones. Like there's some cool theories, bundles, packs. I mean, anyway, it's all good. I literally, I wish I had my notes from Carl on the Super Saturday video. If you have that video, go listen to his first 3 sentences of what he says. He says, we have more lined up this year than any other year in the history of the company. So there's a ton coming. If you want to go write down his first 3 sentences to Super Saturday video. And then he starts talking about having fun and all that, which is great. But dude, those first 3 sentences, if you really paid attention, it's like there's a ton of stuff coming and it's all good. Like, I don't think you guys know this. I told this to Leslie when I was up in Grand Rapids, but you guys have to understand, we were an infomercial company. Like, they were doing $500 million as an infomercial company for years and years and years. And the network was like this, this stepchild, whatever, that was doing like, 30 million, 40 million, and it started to grow and grow. And then quite honestly, in like 2014, it wasn't that long ago, the network surpassed infomercials for the first time ever. Like they were doing 500 million, we were doing 600 million. And then the network continued to grow, and infomercial, because of Netflix and Hulu and everything else, has now taken a huge dive. Okay. Now, the cool thing is the network is stable, secure. We don't depend on the infomercial. The infomercial does, it used to feed way more leads into the network and all that. It doesn't feed it like it used to, but it's not a problem because you guys are just better than you used to be. I mean, we're just good. Well, here's the thing. All the resources that used to run this other side of the business are now all being focused on you guys. So when we talk about product development, we talk about all this stuff, there is so much more being focused on the network and building this side of the company. Just anyway, it's exciting to be in the company, but it's also exciting for you guys as coaches. I can tell you, I think we are like a $700 million startup company in the United States. Like, I think we're just scratching the surface. I went out to 2 Super Saturdays. I was in Chicago, and then I went to Dallas. Guys, you go into those cities with millions of people, and our Super Saturdays are great, but, they're 400 or 500. Dallas will pull 800, 900. Like, guys, in a market with millions, we're pulling 800 or 900. So I can tell you, we still have not even scratched the surface of the capabilities and the possibilities of where this company's going. So anyway, you guys are good. Get it done. I'm telling you, it's not rocket science. Don't overthink it. Just do the work. Honestly, do the work, and you can get it done. And I will tell you, our elite coaches, they're really cool people, but, dude, they have their own problems. They have their own issues, and they are not perfect. They are figuring this out, and you know what? We always hear the question, why not you? But, dude, legit, why not you? Like there's no reason that you can't do what these other guys are doing. So you just got to get it done. Leslie.
All right. Well, thank you, Doug, so much. Thanks for throwing in that piece at the end, too, because I think it's just, I don't know, it says a lot about, like, Beachbody's really behind us and just how important the network is. And I hope there are 500 elite coaches this next year. It'll be exciting. So.
Well, and I love the idea, guys. If you join us as a coach, you need to look at it like 25 years from now, where am I in my Beachbody business? Like, the company's not going anywhere. So you need to have a long-term vision. Certainly you got to make short-term, 1-year goals and drive towards. But guys, 10 years from now, where are you as a coach? And I think if you'll think about that, I mean, we launched the UK. That's like, sweet, good idea, cool. We haven't even grown the US. I mean, the US should be, honestly, it could be 3 or 4 times bigger than it is right now. And that's not even Canada and everything else we've got going on. So anyway, you guys are in the right spot. You just need to make the plan and go execute on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've shared this a bit with the team and our leaders, but I think about, like, maybe not 10 years from now, but I've even talked with Arnold a little bit about this, but, like, long-term vision so much is, like, I'm so excited for the day that I can pass my girls one of my CBCs. Like, that kind of stuff. Like, mommy's going to step back. Maybe I'll keep my 3rd CBC, and Audrey gets the 1st, and Finley gets the 2nd, or Jeff's or whatever. Like, how cool is that to be able to, like, maybe pass your kids a business they would love to take over next? So kind of fun to think about.
Dude, it is cool. But, man, your kids are going to fight when one got the 1st CBC.
Right, which means I have to still, like, I have to get to work on that 2nd. So.
Exactly.
I have to get that capping out or something.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to keep the 1st. They get the 2nd and 3rd.
Exactly.
Yeah, that kind of, like, long-term thinking, like really building a legacy for your family.
Yeah, and I know you want to end. I'll just say, guys, you need to be at Summit. Like, this year's Summit, we are driving towards Summit. You're going to hear more about Summit. If you didn't know, the price on the Summit ticket just dropped. We dropped it down to $145. Now, the caveat with that is it's non-transferable, non-refundable, okay? But it's $145, which is cheaper than the new coach price, which is $295 minus $100, so it normally should be $195. So $145, and a lot of you guys are certainly within driving distance. Obviously, you're not all, but guys, I would absolutely make a plan and figure out how to get you there and get as many people on your team there as you can do it. Because I'm telling you, Summit is like the event of the year that changes everybody's perspective. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the thing that event does, is it just brings people, and when they leave it, they're just going, I had no idea. I had no idea that was Beachbody. And so if you can get to Summit, you need to be to Summit. And if you've got coaches, you want to be elite, who are your diamonds, and they need to be at Summit. Because if you go there with, and what, the coolest thing, and, Anita and Leslie can talk about it, the coolest thing for me is when you go to Summit with somebody and you meet a coach at Summit and they're there with their 2 coaches and it's really cute. And, hey, it's my team. And then the next year they're there with like 12. And then the next year they've got like 100. And it just blows your mind how things grow. So I'm telling you, go to Summit. And if you can, bring 1 or 2 with you. And then just keep pushing and watch the next year. Because I'm just telling you, got to be there and you need to find a way to get there. But Indianapolis is, I mean, crud. You could drive from almost anywhere. So I'd find a way to get there if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. That's totally how it went too. Like I went my first year and then I went back the next year and brought Anita. And then we went back the next year and brought like everyone. So
Yeah.
we just like brought everyone with us. And yeah, Summit is a game changer for sure. All right. Well, thank you, Doug, so much. We appreciate it. And we will get this elite training out to the rest of the team too. So thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.